I have to admit, when Fractal Monsters for Algorand first dropped, I was a little skeptical. I mean, $50 for a digital critter. Well, I'll tell you what, I was wrong. Fractal Monsters is pretty awesome. We're going to dive into the game, tell you all about it and why I changed my mind on today's Frugal BC. What's up, guys? Frugal BC coming at you to talk about Fractal Monsters today. So Fractal Monsters is a play-to-earn game. Actually, not really a play-to-earn game, but a blockchain-based game on the algorand blockchain. Just came out about a week ago now. And I admit, early on, I was very skeptical about the game. I had some concerns, particularly on the price of a monster. I thought $50 seemed like a lot to spend on a little digital creature. I tried out the testnet and I thought, it's okay. Well, I've actually gotten into the game more. There's some reasons why, so we're going to talk about that today. Before we do that, guys, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, helps send more people to the channel. Remember, you don't have to smash it, you just have to press it lightly. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button too. On this channel, we're always doing the experiment. We're trying things out and we're letting you know how it goes, the good, bad, and the ugly. And so we're going to do that today with Fractal Monsters. Now, this is an NFT-based game. You do have to buy a digital monster to play the game. You can buy more than one, of course, but you have to have at least one to play it. So unlike Cosmic Champs, where you can just dive in, the idea is you're supposed to be able to just dive in with no NFTs, even though no wallet or anything. With Fractal Monsters, do need a monster, but you actually don't need a wallet. So some people think this might lead to greater adoption by the non-algorand community, even the non-crypto community, because although you do have to pay that amount up front, you don't actually have to have an algorand wallet to play, which is pretty cool. Well, why don't we just play the game? Okay, so we got the game here. This is your main screen now. We're gonna actually play the game in just a second. Let's see if I'm actually logged in a second here. I want to go to the marketplace and show you guys some stuff. Now, one of the reasons I was a bit skeptical at first is, like I said, at the time, it was about $50 for a little digital monster, and that seemed like a lot. You can actually get into this game a lot cheaper. I found one, and you do that by going on the secondary market. There's one thing about this is it's really easy to accidentally click on the tabs. It's just a little slow here, but yeah, I'm not connected, so we can't get into that. But yeah, right now, prices around 120 algo per monster. That is not, let me do some math here. Price of algo is at 0.20. So say times 0.26. Yeah, it's going to cost you about 30 bucks with the price of algo right now. Now, it didn't cost me that much. It actually cost me closer to, it was 100 algo and the price of algo was down. So it actually cost me just a little over $20. But this is a good way to save. If you want to get into this game, this is a really good way to save money on it. And now I think these critters are pretty cool. Actually, this is the one I have. Mine's actually happy now, but it started out sad when I bought it. Right now the floor is 120. I've seen it as high as 145, so it will change depending on the market. And you can buy one right off of here. You can also buy items. Let me just switch over to items. Yeah, so you can buy food, you can buy little toys for your critters, and you can also win them in the daily contest. We'll talk about that in a second. And then there's bundles as well. So you can buy bundles of things where you get a multitude of foods for a certain amount of money. As you can see, some are like multiple monsters. So this is 480, and you get a toy plus 2 monsters. So kind of, there's some options here. Now remember, these are people selling this, and you can also sell that. So you can make some money from the game. So it's not exactly play to earn, as in they're paying you to play the game in tokens, which is important. There are tokens, and you can buy items in the shop for the tokens, which theoretically you can turn around and sell. Let's get into the game itself here, because I know if I scroll down, it'll say, well, actually it says it right there. You need 1 monster. So I got to log in here. If I don't log in, it won't let me play the game. So we're going to let that load up. There's an option at the bottom where you can make the thing full screen, so you can have it take it up your whole computer screen. It works pretty slick. Working on a mobile app, they don't have that yet. You got to use it on a PC, either a laptop or a desktop or what have you. All right, here's the main screen. It's just loading my critter right now and loading me. As you can see now, your daily missions, there's usually 3 things to do every day, and they're kind of pretty similar every day, just to point out. So it's not like they really changed that much. If you go to wallet, it'll take you back to the marketplace, so we don't want to do that. we're going to go to play. You can also configure the settings, which I actually messed around with them a lot until I got some of the buttons in a place that made sense to me. All right, so there I am. This is your main base. Now the little board here, this tells you your daily missions. So when one match in versus, which is here right now, it's just against the computer. They don't have it set up where you play other players, but that will be coming. Feed monster 2 apples. So you in your backpack, you can feed. You open up your backpack, I can select any of these and then feed them to my monster. I'm not going to do that right now because I've already done that. You know, the other mission is to obtain a score greater than 19 in defense training. So basically every day has been win a match in versus mode, feed your monster something, some specific food, and then obtain a score of some kind in the training. And it's either been defense or dash. So you can practice this. If you do defense, you have to block. You can't let the flag hit, so it's oops, I missed it already. Let me show you that again. I think my timing's a little off in this computer. Basically, I got to defend this flag. You can see the lag. There's a little bit of lag on this one. But basically, my job is to block the flag and use the defense. So sometimes I have to jump. That's when it's hard. Obviously, it's pretty easy to just hold defense. Oops, I missed it. Anyway, so I did get that score before. You can also just practice on a dummy if you want to practice. And there's a world map. It doesn't really do anything. Okay, so then you have to monitor your pet's mood. Right now, he's a little bit hungry. Activities, he's pretty good on activities. His sleep he's not needed sleep. That's kind of weird. I swear for like 3 days I have not touched sleep, if not more. But anyway, he does want food. He's pretty happy, so I'll let that go a little bit. And then if, like I said, you can feed them, you can play with their toys. I've got a globe now. I won this in a contest. I can make him happy, and then I just put it in the backpack when I'm done. Then the other part of this game is the exploration. So there's like kind of one just forest scene, and then so you can click on all these different items. Oops, there's one already. Hasn't been that first one. Now there probably isn't going to be more, but you also sometimes encounter wild monsters. I've never had more than one item, so I'm probably wasting my time. I just want to show you guys what this looks like. And it's usually been either there's an item or there's a monster. When you defeat the monsters, you get fractal tokens, and so you can spend those. You can spend those in the marketplace. And one thing I want to say about the marketplace, it's a little confusing because there's like a withdrawal and deposit. What they mean is deposit goes into the game, I mean it's in-game, and then withdrawal means it goes to your wallet at large, and then your wallet, then that's when you can spend it in the marketplace. So it's a little confusing, deposit and withdrawals, like it might not make sense because until you think about it as like in-game and out-game, which actually probably would have been a better way to, you know, in-game or external wallet or something like that, in-game or marketplace. I think there's a better way they could have labeled it. And then, so that's the first area. They're going to be launching more areas, just so you know. So that's not entirely. And then the one other thing I was going to say is when you hit these daily rewards, you hit claim, and then you get a little spinny wheel, and then you can click the spinny wheel to try to get your, you get some kind of prize, whether it's food or it's toys or items or, I actually got a globe the last time. That globe that you saw, I won that through completing the daily challenges. And one thing I was going to say about the main world too is, in fact, I can just show you. I'll just show you really quick. So this refreshes every 4 hours. So now every time I come here, this little red, I'm pointing at it like you can see me point at it. Use my mouse. This little in the upper left hand corner that refreshes every 4 hours. So you will see that red label. So you know if it's less than 4 hours, they actually tell you, which is kind of cool so you don't waste your time. So guys, that's Fractal Monsters. I think it's a pretty cool game. I think it's fun. It's a fun little break from your day that doesn't take too much time. I think it's great because if you're working, you can work and be like, oh, I'm gonna take a break and see what my monster's up to, maybe feed them, whatever. I think it's pretty well done, and I think the fact that you can get ones for under 50. Now, some people think that's not a big deal. Well, when I put that out on Twitter, a lot of people got angry and said, geez, man, I spend more than that on NFTs, and you know, I'll buy NFTs for that, no problem. You know, people are spending, and you know, it's true, like the Mingos of the world and stuff like that, far more expensive than the Fractal Monsters. So I get it. Yeah, you know, my name is Frugal BC, so I'm watching those pennies, and I don't buy a ton of NFTs. Most of my money that I put into crypto is supposed to be an investment. So that's just my perspective. But I do actually, I gotta say, I kind of came around to this game. I like it. I think it's fun. I hope you guys do too. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, as always, I'm Frugal BC. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff in the game that I haven't covered, but feel free to leave that in the comments too. And, you know, if it's especially good, I'll pin it to the top. Anyway, guys, stay safe out there. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. Get your stuff out those exchanges as much as possible. And as always, I'll see you in the future.